Today I want to talk about a concept called geographic arbitrage. So that's actually just a really fancy term to describe when you are living in a low cost of living area, but you're able to get paid from another source, uh, or you're getting some sort of high income to leverage against that low cost of living. So this is like the concept behind being a digital nomad, or how that got popular was, these guys were working remotely and working online, and they were traveling, to Thailand and Latin America and living cheap. And they realized that while they were getting paid online in dollars or British pounds, this is really a lot of Westerners were doing this and still do this to this day. Or somehow, if people were able to make lots of money off of investments, pretty much any source of income that wasn't location based, you could do this. So if you're able to make location independent income, so you can make money from anywhere in the world, then you can leverage this and you can live a higher quality life, or you can live frugally and use that money to save. You can see this even within different states or cities. You might move to a more affordable part of the city to save money for a while, or you got Californians like me that moved to Texas because LA. I moved from LA because it was too expensive. Now in Texas, I can get a lot more for my money, and then I can get some decent investments in real estate here too. So that's pretty much the concept behind geographic arbitrage. On the international level, you're pretty much doing the digital nomad thing, where you're going to somewhere like, Thailand or Brazil or Mexico, somewhere with lower cost of living. Some guys go to Eastern Europe, like Croatia or Ukraine or Romania, Poland. But any country that has low cost of living or low cost of housing. Because when you think about it, most people in the world, like, their number one expense is actually housing, like where you live, paying either your rent or if you own your mortgage. So if you're able to offset that or in some way overcome that, that's pretty much a huge financial win if you're able to do that. And that's why house hacking is so popular, which that would have to be another video, I think. Geographic arbitrage, though, is great, and especially now with the normalization of remote work, because remote work wasn't so normalized before COVID. You were really lucky to have a remote job, even if you worked in tech or worked at a certain corporation. It wasn't always guaranteed that you could work remote. I worked at 2 tech companies and barely worked remote at either one. It wasn't until the last job I had that I was able to work remote, because it's all been normalized now. So with that growth in remote work, because that was like the privileged people who used to be able to take advantage of that, was like the remote workers was one larger group. But now that it's so normalized, the average person can actually consider or look at their living situation and think, okay, does it make sense to live in this city versus this city? Or can I go to this country? Or even just, changing their lifestyle, People now, especially here in the US, we're lucky. We have such a big country with so many different states and cities. Like, there's so many different places you can live in if you're an American. Like, you can even go to Puerto Rico or US Virgin Islands. But there's so many different places you can go to. There's LA, New York, Miami, Dallas, Houston, Atlanta, Charlotte, Raleigh, Philly, Pittsburgh, Detroit, Indianapolis, Seattle, Portland, I mean, Arizona, you have Phoenix, you got Las Vegas. There's so many different places depending on what's your speed, what you want to do. Um, and you can actually get more strategic with it. Like for me, I moved from LA. I was born and raised in LA, and you know, I want to, really like build right now. Like I want to really focus on, investing and becoming financially independent. And I didn't feel like LA was a good, or even California in general was a good place to do that. So that's why I moved here to San Antonio. Like it's low cost of living, low cost of housing. Even if I stay here for like 1 or 2 years before I do something else, like I'm excited right now because I'm about to get the investments popping. I pay less here in San Antonio for my own 1 bedroom than I paid just to rent a room in in LA. Like I would share the apartment with roommates. I never had my own spot until moving here to Texas, and I'm 30. Because housing in LA could be ridiculous. Like to have your own apartment is blowing so much cash sometimes. So for me, it made sense. I mean, I work remote right now, so I can technically pretty much live anywhere, but I'm thinking of investing here in this city or somewhere else in Texas when it comes to real estate. Um, there's definitely international opportunities if you can find low cost areas and still make the same money online. I mean, possibilities are endless. Uh, I think it's definitely worth it to be strategic and intentional about where you live and how you choose to set up your lifestyle, even if it's something just temporary. Temporary, because for me, I had certain financial goals, so I'm willing to at least work for a few years or do something that's not maybe like as fun or glamorous for a few years because it's going to pay off for the rest of my life, because it's not like I'm necessarily stuck or tied down here either, you know. And that's the beauty of the whole thing with the geographic arbitrage, is like it's about freedom, really. You're leveraging your money to maximize your freedom, is the way I see it, because if I make the right moves now, I'll pretty much be set up for years to come. So that's pretty much geographic arbitrage, leveraging your income or ability to earn money and using it to live in a low cost of living area, or using it to exercise your freedom to live in other places. So that's it for today. Definitely make sure you like and subscribe. Comment down below with your thoughts. Maybe you've done this before, or tell me something about are you making money independent of your location? Are you making money online or through some other investment, or do you have to like physically go into a job? And what's your living situation with your city or your goals? Let me know down in the comments below, and subscribe to the content if you want more content, and I'll talk to you guys later.